wants to jump on and send me a message, send me a chat, anything like that. I want to chat with you today about just getting your real estate career going in general. So, for those of you who do join us live in the chat, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're watching anywhere on the internet, welcome. And what I want to tell you is this: like I said, feel free to join us in the chat. We have that live going right over here. Actually, other here. So it's going to be up on the screen so you guys could see all of the questions, concerns that you guys throw out there to me. So welcome to real estate exam Q&A. So again, I'll take any questions that have to do with the real estate career or the real estate exam in general. So something that I have been talking to a lot of my students about, especially in prepping for the exam, is those tricky questions. So for those of you who are struggling still with the tricky questions, what I want to make sure that you guys do is you realize those questions are not as complicated as you think they are. So, make sure that you're going there, you're taking your time when you're looking at those questions, and you're making sure that you're really looking at what the questions are asking you. And I see a bunch of you guys jumping into the live chat. So thank you so much. Like I said, I would be more than happy to take any questions that you guys have, real estate career wise or real estate exam prep wise. So again, keep those tricky questions, or the seemingly tricky questions. They're probably easier than you think they are. So that is the first thing that I always make sure that my students know. The tricky questions are typically easier than you really do think they are. Another thing that I want to tell you is, and I say this all the time, don't study too much. Don't study too much when you're going for your exam. I think that a lot of students do overstudy. I just think that that's just the nature of it. You guys think that it's going to be the end all and be all, that it's going to really drive you to be successful at the test, when all it's going to do is cause you stress, anxiety, and it's not a good thing. So I really am curious if you guys do have any questions about starting your real estate career. So if you do have any questions, feel free to type in the chat anywhere that you have, whether it's comments, YouTube section. Make sure that if you aren't a YouTube subscriber yet, hit that like button, hit subscribe, because that's what helps us get out there to more and more people. And also let me know if you like these impromptu live chats. So I see someone typed in, okay, I was thinking I wasn't studying enough. Yeah. So what happens is this, and the reason why I say to people, all the time that I want to just move this over here so I can see this. Yeah. The reason why I tell people all the time that, don't overstudy, don't overlook it. Don't overdo it, is because you're probably then looking for, you're looking for the more minutia, more detailed version of what you need to know. You actually probably just need to know surface level about the questions. Someone said, I failed 4 times, go back on the 28th. Good luck to you. Really, it's a tough test. And just so you guys know, only about 40% of people actually end up passing. So if you're in the category where you're just finding yourself not passing, you're not getting to the point that you want to be successful, to start your real estate career, because listen to what I'm going to tell you. I make my money, I make my living on training and tutoring people how to pass that exam. And what I will tell you is this. The situation is, it's really a means to an end. This is just something that is basically, you need to get it so that you get your real estate license so you can start doing the fun stuff. So let's see. Now that I've finished with the education, I feel like I've forgotten everything. So, and here's the thing too, depending on your school, where you went to, what you're doing in regards to the classroom work, what I would do is this. I wouldn't suggest that, you really stress yourself out in trying to overstudy. There's a lot of different a lot of different things that you could do. So one of the things is we do offer private tutoring. So if you need extra help, you need a little one-on-one time with me, that's something that I do offer. You go to helpmepassmyexam.com. That's my site. You'll see links to everything that I have there. You'll see links to tutoring, sign up for Prep Agent, which is a tool that I do highly recommend if you haven't gotten that already. So that is the situation there. Someone said I failed a lot more than 4. Yeah, it is a 40% pass rate on this test, basically nationwide. Some states certain months, much lower than that. Sometimes you get a little higher, but we're not in the 50s or 60s as far as the percentile of people who are passing. So that is the situation there. So Michael said, I'm taking my test on Saturday. You got any advice? Yeah, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Go in there. Think really positive too. I want you to make sure that you're looking at the test as something. Again, it's easier than you think it is. So I really do want you to understand that. So I would say go in there and really try to read the questions thoroughly so that you're not overdoing it. You're not overthinking it. So Marianne said, so how would the training work? Do I pay for that? So it depends on what training you're referring to. So if you're looking to get the exam prep tutoring, okay, like you want to try to help yourself pass the exam, we charge $75 an hour, and that is all virtual training. We do book up really quickly, though. So I do recommend that if you want to do that, you sign up sooner rather than later, because I have a lot of people that miss out on that because they're waiting last minute. So I book up really quick. So if you're looking for that, we have that. I offer a lot of videos, a lot of free videos. I'll answer any questions that you guys have in regards to the test, in regards to getting your career started. So keep that in mind too, that I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have here in my Facebook group. So, there's a lot of places to, to go to. And someone said, I feel bad when I see so many people can pass. It's a hard test. A lot of factors go into it. So something else that I tell people all the time that goes into passing this exam is a lot of people haven't taken a test in a long time. So a lot of times you're actually running into a situation where students really don't know how to take a test. So you put all this knowledge into your head, you feel like you're doing really well, and then all of a sudden you don't pass the exam because what happens is you don't know how to answer the questions. Okay. So someone put, hi, I came across a question on the exam. When a sales agent uses a real estate guarantee fund, does the sales agent get fined or pay it back? So that's a New Jersey specific question. If you're referring to the guarantee fund, every state has something similar to that, where they pay abbreviated members of the general public who suffered a monetary loss from the actions of a licensee. So what happens with that is the agent is going to have to pay that back, okay, with interest in New Jersey. There's other states might have other minutia, but New Jersey, if we're talking about the guarantee fund, we're talking about sales agent has to pay it back with interest, okay? So yeah, someone said 40%. Damn. Yeah, that is definitely a big situation. So good luck to you who's taking it on the 15th. Good luck. Okay, so let's see. This one said, I'm feeling more confident now that I've been using Prep Agent. In North Carolina class was 75 hours and was so fast and a lot to take in such short time. I take my test next Wednesday, trying my best to keep positive, got to think into existence. Yeah, and try to stay positive too. And I'm trying to read through your comments here on the screen. So I have a nice big screen over here, and also try to maintain eye contact with that camera. This is something that I'm learning. I'm trying to do this more often, do these live video chats with you guys so that you could see me and everything like that. So keep in mind, I'm trying to kind of maneuver this. So the first one that I did a couple of days ago, I was all over the place. And now I'm kind of getting my feet wet, where I'm getting a little more comfortable with the chat and the video camera. So more stuff's coming soon. Okay. English is my second language, so it makes it even harder. Yeah. 100%. If English is your second language, this is a test that there's a lot of large words that they use. They use a lot of legalese. So even someone who English is their first language, I always say that repetition for the ESL students, English is second language. I say repetition is going to be something that's going to help you get past a lot of barriers. So that's definitely a big thing. So let's see. Here's a long question. Bear with me while I read this. If a seller tells the agent he's going to do fumigation and the agent puts on the listing, lockbox call first, and the buyer's agent disregards it and goes anyway, who is responsible for any health issues? That's a tough call. That's a very legal question. That's not something you would ever see on the exam, but I'm going to tell you because that's more a practical thing. That's something that would be a court of law that would really take care of that, because the buyer's agent is responsible for checking reasonable notes. Okay. And it feels like I feel like in that situation that the seller has the seller's agent is, if they put it out there in the notes and they made it very clear, I would say that the seller's agent is probably not going to be super liable for that, because that's a situation that, again, I think that you put a reasonable notice out there, but I'm not an attorney, so you can't be that way. Someone said you should be a radio DJ, by the way. Thank you so much for that. I guess you're talking about my voice and how I have that booming baritone voice. Okay. So let's take a look at some other questions. I've taken the test 3 times and failed by 1 each time. No, that question was on my exam. So yeah, and I try to, and here's the thing, that's why I come on here with you guys, because I try to kind of get you guys familiar with some of the questions that are being asked on the test, and I try to answer them for you. That's why I try to give back to you guys as much as humanly possible. So if someone asked, is it true if you get your license in New York, you can show places in New York, Connecticut, New Jersey without taking PSI? No, you're not licensed in Connecticut or New Jersey then. If you're licensed in one state, that doesn't automatically make you licensed in 2 states. Okay. You could bypass. So here's the thing. When I will speak to New York and New Jersey, because that's where I have licenses. That's where I hold licenses. So New York and New Jersey, they will waive the education, but you still have to pass the test in both states. I would argue that New York is the easier of the 2 to pass your exam. That's just my opinion, though. Some people really struggle with New York. Some people find New Jersey easy and New York harder. I just find that the New York test seems to be a little easier. So take that for what it's worth. Okay. Someone asked this question: the right to control land usage by zoning and eminent domain is an example of public interest, police power, a fee simple estate, bundle of rights. Well, it's not fee simple estate. It's not bundle of rights. Okay. So the government's right to control land usage by zoning is going to be police power. Okay. They also, and eminent domain is not a control, is not a control of land usage. Because basically eminent domain is just taking the property for government for a higher and greater public purpose. So the answer to that question that you were asking over on YouTube, I would say is the police power. Okay. But eminent domain is separate from police power. That's why I don't know if you really transcribed that question. And that's the thing too. A lot of you guys ask me questions that you're remembering from the test, or you're trying to, remember from your studies. This one, I would say, is one that, the eminent domain part of it is kind of weird because it's in addition to police powers. Police powers is zoning. So that was a good question though. And I like trying to answer those. Okay. So, Joe Lydon is in the chat. Look at that. My man. Joe Lydon's the best. He's the best. Let me tell you something. Watch this set of hair from Joe Lydon. So which one is more good for Real Estate Express or Prep Agent? Real Estate Express or Prep Agent? So I'm an independent contractor for Prep Agent. So mind me if my if I'm a little biased on this, and take that with a grain of salt. I think that, in my opinion, you should take with a grain of salt. You should ask, around to your fellow students, ask in the Facebook groups. I think that you will overwhelmingly see Prep Agent as the recommended software, the recommended program. However, what I'm going to tell you is this. In my opinion, even if I wasn't on the team and an independent contractor with Prep Agent, I would say Prep Agent is still one of the most curated, most carefully manicured program out there. So I think that Prep Agent really does quality assurance really well. So yeah, that is the situation there. Another one has another question came in here from a Facebook user. Option contract binding by the seller, binding by the buyer, short term, or writing this on my test, and I looked at it and can't remember. So an option contract is going to be, and I think that if you're saying short term or writing, I would say in writing. Okay. There's nothing there that really says binding to the buyer, binding to the seller, because it's hard to know without knowing the minutia of what the situation is. It could be an option to purchase. It could be another type of option. I don't know. So that's why I would say in writing. So that's, and I see that you're kind of clarifying binding by the seller, binding by the buyer, short term, or in writing. I would put in writing in that one, because in my opinion, that's what you need to have an option contract be valid. Okay. Because again, it could be short term, it could be long term. It could be one of those things that it could be binding to the buyer, binding to the seller. It depends on what the option is. What is the option for? So that's the situation there in regards to that. So let's see. Someone else wrote a little earlier, taking my test on the 29th, feel really like my school did not prepare me enough. I take different tests online and I can see there's so many questions that they never covered in my class. So this is what I'll tell you. I set out to do this. So the original reason why I started my YouTube channel, why I started my Facebook group, was that my in-class students were like, there's not many resources online like you. There's not many online resources where I'm going to get the Stu explanation of it. And that's what they wanted. They came to my school because they wanted my take on it. They wanted my explanation. So I started making videos. And if you actually look at my earlier YouTube videos, very rudimentary. It was really, the audio was junk. It was just me clicking play on a laptop, and I was just doing my stuff. I was going through PowerPoint presentations. Sometimes the slides didn't move in some videos, and I put it up there really for my students. And then a lot of you started commenting and saying, hey, you're really helping me pass my exam. And I started putting out more content. I started working with more of you. So I started working with you guys across the country. So there's a lot of things going on that I really enjoyed. And what I'll tell you is this, it kind of blossomed into this, where I have lighting, I have a camera now, I have the microphone. So first and foremost, thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you guys for being here. But going back to the original question of like, hey, or the original comment, where my school didn't prepare me, there's a lot of schools out there that, and I'm not going to throw them under the bus and say they're bad. What I'm going to say is this: there's a lot of schools out there where you have to understand, as a teacher, there's not a lot of resources for us to get better. So for those, that's why one of the questions I ask in my Facebook group is I say, hey, who's your instructor? Can you invite them into the group so that I could help them? I can answer any questions. And also they could be a resource for you guys as they get better, as they grow. And I'll tell you, there's not a lot of teachers that ever take me up on that. Because again, there's some people who just like doing what they do. They do it day in, day out. And that's the situation there. They don't really focus so much on the quality of what they're putting out there. So what I'll tell you is this: I always try to make sure that the quality that we put out here, and that's why I try to interact with you guys, because I want to make sure that you know what's going on, what's happening, and I try to give you the best version of what we have here rather than junk. Okay. So let's see. This video will be saved. So someone said, save the video later, please. Yeah, this will be saved. This will be on our YouTube channel. So if you go to our live videos, it'll be there in a collage of different things. And what I'll tell you is this: I will look at some more questions. So it says, could you explain the difference between void and voidable? A void contract is going to be for an illegal purpose. A voidable contract would be one with a minor, okay, or where someone's under duress or under the influence, okay? So voidable, someone holds a gun to someone's head and says, sign that contract, would be voidable, okay? Someone's a minor in every state but California. So if I have any California people watching this at any time, California, it's void because it is illegal to enter into a contract with a minor. So a void contract, I always use illegal drugs. If I said, hey, you sell this marijuana for me, or you sell this, heroin for me, this crack cocaine for me, that's a clearly illegal purpose. And that would be a void contract, meaning that you can never act on it, even if you wanted to. So, that hurts my soul when I read this question, this comment. I agree. My teacher just read the book. I had to teach myself. That's awful. I don't read the book. I think that I never have read from a book other than like a couple things to clarify certain things. So yeah, I don't read from a book. I don't believe in that, because I'll be honest with you, that's not teaching. What I do here, having a conversation with you guys, this is teaching. I teach, I train, I get up here and I do these different kinds of things with you guys. So yeah, that's not teaching, in my opinion, let me see. Someone said, is it true the New Jersey test focuses more on the vocabulary and laws for the exam? No, not necessarily. It's something that I think there's a lot of scenario-based questions in New Jersey too. I think so. The New Jersey exam, just so you know, is the PSI national exam and the New Jersey state specific questions. So very similar to a lot of other states in regards to the national portion. It's just what they parse out. The Real Estate Commission parses out some things that wouldn't be state relevant for New Jersey, such as the government survey section, rectangular survey, stuff like that. Okay. Hello, first timer here. Hello, first timer. This is actually my second time or third time doing a live where I just kind of jump on and I just set up my camera and I go whoop. And I pop up into the Facebook or YouTube world. So please, like I said, if you do like this, you do like me coming on occasionally, saying hello to you guys, hit that like button, hit subscribe, make sure you're in the Facebook group, all that kind of stuff, because that's how I'm going to, basically communicate with you guys every once in a while, because I think that I need to do this more often. Also, it teaches me how to use the camera editing software. So all this kind of fun stuff, I'm learning too. So I'm doing something that's why my first live video, my wife said to me, she said, your eyes were all over the place. You were looking all over. So that's why I tried to center the camera a little bit, kind of get the messages right in front so I could see them right there, because it's very hard. I have a very, very big screen. And for anyone who does do anything that knows a little bit more, might give me a tip or trick. Hey, if you could give me a video editing tip or trick, that would always be appreciated too. So I took the Illinois test and failed. It was super tough, super hard test. Yeah. Again, definitely not easy. Illinois is definitely hard. Real estate taxes in advance are prorated at closing. This is a credit and debit thing. So if so picture this, there's a timeline. Okay. And this is my left hand, this is my right hand. So I'm going to show you. Okay. So I'm going to show you a timeline. And I'm going to try to kind of get it right. So forget the timeline. I'm going to explain it. So if you pay something in advance, like till the end of the year, till the end of the month, right? And a closing happens before that, what happens is you have to get credited for what you've already paid. So the person who paid in advance is typically the seller, the person who was in the home when that bill came due. So what happens is this, that person would be credited, and then the buyer would be debited, right? Because the amount of time, and it has to be for the amount of time from when the closing takes place till the end of the term. So if it's a month, if it's paid a month in advance or a year in advance, anything like that, it would be debit the buyer, credit the seller. Okay. So that's the situation here. So I'm having a hard time deciding what to do with the brokerage. I need to start part-time, and I love working remotely right now, but someone scared me with some type of pyramid types of brokerages. So you're probably talking about EXP or even something like that. So what I'll tell you is this. You should never be scared of something unless you don't fully understand or you don't fully know. And I think that really what you have to figure out if you're trying to decide on a brokerage is you have to decide, number one, what the right brokerage for you is based on your goals. It might be one that you might look at as more of a pyramid scheme kind of thing. I think that that's something that if you ever, and I'm going to start doing this too, I'm going to start giving you guys coaching advice about going to talk to brokerages and things like that. So if you ever wanted to schedule some private time with me where we could sit down, talk about the different things, I'm going to be setting up 15 to 30 minute, meetings where you could sit down and talk to me and ask me any questions about different brokerages I've been to. And I'll give you my thoughts and things like that. So if you like that, hit that like button and make a comment down below if you want to see me offer that to you guys, because I have no problem with that. I'm pretty broker neutral. I pretty much don't like to push anything one over the other, but I think that what you should do is really focus on your goals and, match the brokerage up with what your goals are. Okay. So someone said, what's up, Stu? What's up? Hello, Stu. Love the Stu crew. Yes. EXP. Yeah, so that's what it is. And someone said, nice, I've never been here live. Like I said, I haven't done this that often. So I'm glad that you're joining me live. I'm glad that you're jumping in here, because this is something that I want to do this more often for you guys, because this is absolutely awesome. I love chatting with you guys. I love seeing the interaction up here. And this is just something that I love. This is something that I thrive on. I love doing this for you guys. Happy to finally catch a live. Jack said I passed. Now what? Where are you going, Jack? What brokerage you going to? Where you going? I want to know. Put it in the chat. Celebrate. Congrats, buddy. Congrats. Where are you going? Where are you going? Currently studying a lot. Suzette said, yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So someone said, will you offer shorter sessions soon? Like, I'd love a 15-20 minute thing. Yeah, absolutely. I think that I'm going to start doing that. I don't want to take away from my students who are, paying me, because those are the things that, look, that feeds me. I need to be fed. Okay. So that feeds me, that makes me work. But I will be offering 15 to 20 minute sessions. Also, too, coming here, doing these lives when I have time. Okay. That is going to be the thing right there. Someone said EXP. I'm considering it, need to do more research. This is what I'm going to tell you. Funny thing. Some people don't know already. I'm actually interviewing brokerages right now. So I'm doing this as you guys are doing it, and EXP is one that I'm considering. I will tell you that, and here's what I'm going to tell you about EXP too, in comparison to what you might hear about this and some of the things that you've heard out there. So first and foremost, I've been doing this for 18 years. I didn't want to talk to anyone at EXP because people were really aggressive. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So I probably didn't talk to EXP for 3 or 4 years. And I missed out on some things. If I would have gone earlier, I may be going. And here's the thing. It's not even, the ink has not even dried yet. But I think that every brokerage, what you need to do is you need to go there with what your wants are, what your goals are, and this is what I will do. I will make sure that, my goals, what I want in life and my career, are going to align with what the brokerage is offering. So that's the situation there. Someone said Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Ooh, I love Keller Williams. Keller Williams is one of my favorite companies. I used to travel the country pre-lockdowns. I used to travel the country, and I used to go to a lot of different brokerages doing trainings and things like that. Predominantly Keller Williams offices. I will tell you this: I've never been to a Keller Williams office that has not given me a warm welcome and has not treated me awesome and amazing. So I'll never ever badmouth Keller Williams just because of how they treat me as an organization. I adore the people there, and I think that's important. Culture is important. And I've been to a lot of different ones, so it's never a bad look, Keller Williams, in my opinion. I was with a real estate company. Doug Owens said, check out Next Home. I have a great relationship with Next Home. I love their culture. I love that company. They're actually in my home county, where I live, my home state. So I actually really like Next Home a lot. That's the one with the French Bulldog, and the Frenchie, and they've warmly welcomed me into their offices over in Monmouth County, New Jersey. So if you are looking for someone in Monmouth County, New Jersey, I definitely think that should be Alan Burns and their team over there. And this is the only one that I've actually name dropped. They're fantastic. I love them. I mean, I can't say enough good things. They treat me. And here's the thing: what you'll notice about me, and when I talk about other brokerages, I usually talk about my interactions, what I've heard about them, kind of dispel some misnomers. And I always make sure that when we're talking about brokerages, I think it's super important to never lean one towards the other, because I think that there's a lot of different brokerages could be good for a lot of different people. So Next Home is totally super nice. Yeah. So Keller has been super helpful for new agents. Yeah. And here's the thing. Like I said, they've invited me into their home a lot. So you'll never hear me say anything bad about Keller Williams. So I love everyone. That's so nice. No, not necessarily. And here's the thing too. I give everyone enough slack. I give everyone enough slack, and I give everyone enough leeway that I always am open to conversations. And that's why I have some predispositions some preconceived notions about companies. So that's why sometimes I steer away from a conversation. But I always willing to hear people out because I never know what it's going to be. It might be something that I really didn't know. So someone said, I need a refresher on math. Yeah, I tutor for math. So I'm probably the math guru over at Prep Agent. So if you do want to jump on for math tutoring session, I have a lot. And here's the thing, if you go to my YouTube channel, okay, so Lindsay, you're actually over on YouTube. So go into the playlist section and check out the math webinars I do. And also keep in mind too, you could sign up for one of my weekly webinars. I do 2-hour weekly webinars. So keep that in mind too, guys. Go to helpmepassmyexam.com and you'll get a list in the calendar of events of all of the tutoring, of all the webinars that I'm doing weekly. So once a week, I'm going to be doing a long webinar, longer than the Prep Agent ones. You do have to sign up. You do have to register for that. But you get some cool perks. Okay. So let's see what else. Someone, and April said I meant that in a good way. Yeah, I do. I love a lot of different brokerages, and you have to realize, that is the situation there. So any recommendations for medical insurance companies for real estate agents? I have US Health. I say, do your research, ask around. So that is the situation there. I would say, do your research, I'm with, AmeriHealth and I Googled it. I Googled independent contractors, and different insurance plans. I don't have the greatest insurance plan. Okay. But I will tell you this, I'm not paying more than I think like $400 a month for an individual. And also, it's not the greatest, but I do get, basically if something catastrophic happened to me, I wouldn't be bankrupt. And that's really, that is what I would say there. I wouldn't be bankrupt if I had to, unfortunately, go into the hospital and had something serious happen to me. So that's really, for me, that's what medical insurance really is. It's basically that whole, I want to make sure that if something major catastrophic happens, that's the situation there. So would love a math tutor group. Here's what I'll tell you. The math, you don't need the math to pass the exam. So that's a good thing. Okay. You don't need the math to pass the exam. But I will tell you is if you do need a math tutor, like I said, I'm the resident guru over at Prep Agent. I go through a lot of different things when it comes to the math, go through a lot of different material, things like that. So that's something that, I do cover extensively. Let's take a look at the messages real quick. See what else came in. Okay. Jason, if you're new here, I would highly recommend Stu and Prep Agent really help me out. I use Liberty Health, covers a lot. Yep. How about in New York? Do you need math? New York tests, again, you're probably going to, agree, disagree. I think that New York math, you really don't need the math as much as you think you do. Like there's going to be like a handful of questions on the math test. Okay. Connor said, just passed my exam this afternoon. Your videos are amazing, man. Thank you so much. Where are you going? What brokerage? I want to know in the chat. Tell me where you're going. Where are you ending up? Where are you doing business? Okay. So Jack said also, thanks for helping me pass. Yeah. Thank you guys for using this. And also share this with your friends, family, anyone who's looking to get licensed across the country. Also, if you have anybody, hey, if you want to look like a hero to somebody, I'm going to give you a recruiting tip. Like if you want to look like a hero to somebody, introduce them to me early on, because I guarantee you that no other recruiter, no other person who's bringing in new agents is saying, hey, you got to check this guy out. He's going to help you pass your exam. Introduce him to me. And here's the thing with me. This is what I always tell you guys. I love when you support me. I love when you do the private tutoring sessions. I love when you do that. That's super important to me. I think that that's great. I think that's fantastic. But what I'll also tell you is this. If you do not have the money, you do not have the funds, you do not have anything, I want to be here for you guys. So I come here and I do this for free, with a lot of the free videos. There's a lot of free information out there. So even if you introduce someone to me, it's not a money pit. I'm not going to sit here and charge people out the wazoo because I believe in putting good out there. I believe if you do good, good comes back to you. So, and I believe in that wholeheartedly. So that's why, like I said, I try to make as much money as I can to put food on the table, to keep a roof over my head, that kind of thing, and to be able to do more content for you guys. So that's why, like I said, I do appreciate appreciate it when you can sign up for a private lesson. I do appreciate it when you do sign up for the webinars and do stuff like that, because, and just so you guys know too, some of you don't realize this. I'm not some big organization. I work as an independent contractor for Prep Agent. Okay. Meaning I get paid for the little things I do here and there. Okay. But if I don't do anything for them, I don't get paid by them. Okay. So I love Prep Agent. I love Prep Agent Joe. They're fantastic. They're like family to me. I love them. Cynthia, Adrian, Joe, they're all fantastic. Arthur, who's behind the scenes, you don't see Arthur in the webinars, but Arthur's the one who makes the webinars go. So you actually see him a lot more than you think you do. So if Arthur's watching this, hey, Arthur. But what I'll tell you is this. When you guys support me here on this channel, even on the private lessons at Prep Agent, I mean, that's literally putting food in my pocket. And that means something to me. And I'll tell you, I'm not some big organization. It's literally me. So like if the cameras break, if things go wrong or things go right, I get to take all the credit or all of the detriments. Okay. So is Joe a real estate agent too? I don't like spreading Joe's private life. He is a real estate agent, and you have to realize that all of us do come from a real estate background of some sort. Some of us more so active than others at Prep Agent. So what I will say is this: I will say that Joe was a real estate agent at one time. Okay, so first class real estate in Alabama. How was that? Okay. And someone else put down in the chat, and I'm going to read this one because this one is was a little long, but I'm going to read it. So bear with me. I'm a new real estate student, 3 weeks into the course. So much to learn. I'm 53, starting over. Memory is not as good as it used to be. Any study tips? Yeah. What I'll tell you is this: don't push yourself. Don't push yourself. Okay. Don't push yourself. Don't put yourself behind the eight ball either. You say you're 53. Memory's not as good as it used to be. Well, guess what? 53, you got a lot of stuff in there. You got a lot of world experiences. And I'll tell you this, you're probably going to be in a situation where if you study the right way and you don't overdo it, you could really help yourself pass the exam. So can you explain the difference between an assignment of lease and a refinance? Well, that is that's like saying, can you tell me the difference between a chicken and a Tyrannosaurus Rex? They're two completely different things. So an assignment of a lease is an assignment of a lease, and a refinance, that's something for an owner. So someone asked a great question, Facebook user. Let me take a look and see what this said. It said, if you don't need the math to pass, what do you need? You need everything else. The math you don't need, but you need everything else, right? So that is the situation there. So someone said, you're so awesome. No, you're awesome. Okay. Someone said, people, I had private lessons and I passed. He's brilliant. I don't know if I'm brilliant, but I do put a lot of love. I put a lot of love into what I do. So I take that to heart, and thank you for that. I don't, and keep in mind, if you are a Facebook user and you're commenting, I won't be able to see this until after the chat, because all I see is Facebook user. So I wish I could thank you for the kind words, by name and point you out and say, oh, yes. But I can't. So that's kind of, I wish that this system let me do it, but it lets me do a lot of other things, like having the chat over here and doing this video and going live. So this is awesome. So I registered. I can't wait to get registered. Stu, you helped me so much. Thank you guys. And you know what? That is, that's fantastic. I really love this. Do you recommend paying for leads like Zillow, for example? No. I'm not a big fan of paying for things. I'm a fan of implementing systems. So that's why if something like that you guys want to start talking to me about, things that you want to do after you pass the exam, I'm going to start talking to you guys more about that, because so many of you guys I've helped pass the exam. I want to get you up and running and get your business running the right way. And there's no way to do that. There's better ways to get leads. Okay. There's better ways to get leads than paying for Zillow. Now, here's the thing. Do I know teams and do I know top producers that pay for Zillow? Yes. But what happens is this: you have to understand Zillow, you're going to be catching a lot of leads into this funnel. Okay. And they're going to be filtering down. If you do not have a good system in place to catch those leads, then what happens is it's basically like running water through a sieve. it's just going to go right through. You need to have systems in place. You need to do that before you start paying for any leads. So systems are more important than anything else. Okay, Bridget, yes, thank you so much for telling me. So let's take a look and see. Johnny Lance, I'm 44. Same thing for me. Forgot how to study this all alone. Listen. Age is just a number, right? What I'll tell you guys is this: you guys are better off than you really think you are. So I wouldn't worry too much about that kind of stuff. So I'm 19, just finished up real estate school, and I'm currently studying for my test. Do you think with a team is a good option since I'm so young? Depends what your goals are. Like, I think that what a lot of you are trying to do is try to figure out, Stu, what do you think I should be doing? I don't know you. Like, here's the thing. With a team, are you giving up too much? Like, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to make like a boatload of money, Ethan? Is that what you want to do? Look, I was 19 when I started in real estate, and I can tell you this: I didn't have a lot of motivation to make a ton of money. I was living at home with my parents, and I was living in the basement, so I didn't need to make a ton of money. What I'll tell you is this: it's something that I definitely think that if anyone's thinking about getting into real estate, you don't know what to do, I think that you should connect with me and let me talk to you. Because like I said, I'm going to start setting up 15 to 20 minute sessions where I'd be more than happy to give you 15 minutes of my time. We'll set up a call, set up a chat, and talk about that, because I'll let you pick my brain, let you talk to me about what you think might be good for you as far as the next step, because and I think that the answer to that question is very personal. It's a very personal question, like what should be a good answer. And again, I started at 19, so I know the trials and tribulations of that, So Tree Johnson said, hey, new student here. I'm enrolled in online class, but reading gets so boring. So I come here because I need to hear and see the work. Well, welcome. I hope that I help you out. I hope that you get some energized teaching. I hope that I'm better than some of the things that you have. The book is really boring. I do highly recommend Prep Agent because Prep Agent is going to be something that Joe wrote an ebook that is actually probably the most underrated part of the Prep Agent system. So I think that's definitely a really good, a good topic there. So let's see. I was like trying to read and talk at the same time. I got to get better at that. So can you give key details of everything else in order to pass? Financing, fair housing, contracts are huge. That's usually where people get tripped up. Financing, fair housing, contracts, huge. Other than that, it's, like a mishmash of everything. See, the problem with giving you details about what the everything else is, it's basically, you have to realize this. They have a huge area in which they could pull questions from. A lot of different things that they could do. So what I will tell you is this: it's not necessarily something that they're pulling from a massive, massive barrel. And, they really need to get to a point where that's why that's one of the reasons why people fail a lot, is because there's a lot of things that they could touch on. So that's really kind of like what the, what the situation there is. Someone said, I love this one. Hey, you were giving me so much more confidence than I've had. I felt like I was in an empty world. You're not. And that's why I built this, that's why I built this Facebook group. That's why, when you see me interacting with the people that I interact with, I do it purely, it started from a place of love. It started from I'm the kind of guy that I'll get off a plane, I'll go into Keller Williams' office. And this is why I don't bash Keller Williams, because I go into Keller Williams' offices and I get so many hugs when I walk in there. I'm a big hugger. I'm a hugger, high fiver, that kind of guy. I think that, and this is why it's such a shame right now that we are in the situation we're in with lockdowns and things like that, because I miss the interaction. So that's why I built this. I built this because I feel like a lot of people, a lot of students out there do not feel like, and I feel like the average instructor doesn't put the extra effort in. And I say the average because I know some instructors out there that are absolutely phenomenal. I have them in my group. I have a couple of instructors that I admire, that I look up to. I'll tell you this. I'll throw names out there. Vivian Ruggieri over in New Jersey. Elliot Kaplan in New Jersey. Elliot Kaplan is my mentor. He's 80-something years old, and the guy's a spitfire. Absolutely fantastic. So again, I'm so happy that you found us and that you're here. So let's see. Well, A lot of long questions. Hey, Stu Crew, how can we connect with you? So you can write a comment in the YouTube channel. You could go to my Facebook channel. You could go to my website, helpmepassmyexam.com. And there's a lot of ways that you can connect. I say go to my Facebook page, and I'm going to have more ways that you can connect with me so that it makes it more streamlined, because I think right now that's one of the things I'm trying to kind of cut down on, is be like, all right, you can connect with me all these places. And then all of a sudden it's like someone tries to connect with me and it's like, oh no, you can't connect with me. It's hard, or I don't get back to you. And that's why I'm trying to put a lot of different things out there. So what I would tell you is this: bear with me as I'm kind of running through the kinks on that one, but we will have a more streamlined version of that. Dreo Graphics said, new student here, 25-year-olds, and I'm looking forward to learn from you. And I'm looking forward to you being in my class. I'm looking forward to you being here with me, interacting on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you want to integrate, interact with me. If you want to go on Instagram or the TikTok and do a TikTok dance with Stu, we could do that. We could do all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what social media, that's the beauty of this. Remember, I was telling you earlier, I was like, I'm really bummed that I'm not out there interacting with the brokerages that I was interacting with. But I have a real, this setup right here, being able to see you guys talk to me, this is like being out there, and I love this. I absolutely love this. So that's why, like I said, I'm going to give you guys more information there. So someone said, where do I sign up for private tutoring? www.helpmepassmyexam.com. That's my website. It will redirect you to my prep agent site. So you could go to helpmepassmyexam.com, and that usually has everything. So usually when you sit there and go, where do I contact Stu? Bottom of the page, there's my office number. You can text message. Okay. And my admin's standing by 24/7. And just so you know, because remember I said to you, I said I'm a one-man show. My admin's literally my mom with an extra phone. So that's why I really do appreciate when you guys support me, because I'm trying to do my best here to make this human, because I never want to actually lose that whole interaction there. So yeah, you could sign up plenty of different places, and you don't even have to ask me what my schedule's like, because my schedule's right there. Let's see this. April asked a question. How come a lot of real estate agents like Joe and yourself teach? Is the sales not bringing in enough money? So here's the thing. That's a great question. And it goes back to my goals. I want to be happy with what I do. And I made, and I'm not speaking for Joe. I made a boatload of money at some point. That didn't fulfill me. I drove a BMW. I had custom tailored suits. That was empty. That was a lot of things. Okay. You'll see. I usually wear a hoodie. Sometimes I'll throw on a sports jacket. I usually wear t-shirts. I'm a simple guy. So I want simple things. And interacting with people. And here's the thing: when you find that you have a gift for something, whether that's helping people in a real estate transaction, being out there and mentoring people, I found very early on in my career that I liked training, I liked managing, and I liked helping people. So I found that this was a way to really leverage my talents. And the other thing too, the reason why I do this is because I am good at this. And also too, this is almost a challenge to me to find out how I can make money, how I can make more money doing this, So that's why it's something that I like, the challenge. I like coming on here and being like, okay, I could tutor you guys. Okay, I could offer you weekly webinars. I could do these things. And here's the thing: you guys like the product so much that you come on and you very willingly do it. So what happens is this: it all goes back to our goals. My goal is not to make a whole lot of more money. It's to be fulfilled personally. So making a lot of money selling penthouses in New York City was not fulfilling to me. Okay. I ran around with a lot of empty people, and I did empty things to make a lot of money, and it didn't feel good. So this feels a lot better than that. And if I can make enough money doing this versus that, I'd rather do it. So yeah, absolutely. High five. Thank you for helping me pass my test. High five to you. Where are you going? Tell me where you're going. So I have a tutoring session with you at 9 p.m. Awesome. Amazing. So want to tell you, looking forward to it. Bring your A game. We're going to make sure we get through this. Okay. So, one more time. What is the site to visit for NJ Prep? So here's the thing. I do a lot of NJ Prep on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of NJ videos, but here's the thing. The New Jersey stuff hasn't changed. So I don't rehash a lot of the New Jersey stuff. I have webinars on it. I have content on it. Go to www.helpmepassmyexam.com, all one word. That is my site. That's where you're going to basically find everything. I update that usually. That's where you're going to find all the stuff there. Okay. Purpose is everything. Good stuff, man. Yeah, absolutely. Walter, thank you so much for that. Purpose means more than anything else. I mean, over the holiday season, I'll tell you this, I'm probably never leaving Prep Agent ever. I'm going to just tell you a real quick story. I mean, Joe and I, we have been like two peas in a pod. Prep Agent has been absolutely phenomenal to me. And over the holidays, what he has done for my family, and again, I don't go into specifics, but what he has done for my family, I don't think I could ever thank him enough. I truly don't mean that thank you would ever be enough. What he has done for me has been utterly selfless in regards to opportunities and also like actually doing things like, so yeah, I think that purpose and feel good stuff is just, it's so important. And also too, that's one of the reasons why I got out of the suits, because the suits were just not me. They weren't my thing. And I started running with people that were like me, that were like, yeah, no, come join us. Let's do this together. So, so someone said I joined EXP. Great choice. And again, there's, and someone else said, I love helping people. So someone else said in the YouTube group, what's the Facebook group? If you go to the description in any of the videos, I copy and paste it. So it's in there. So if you go to any of my videos, you go to the description box, you'll be able to see that. So I'm going to probably go for another couple minutes. And April said, my granddaughter's name is Purpose. I like that. I actually like that a lot. Yeah, purpose is a really good thing to have in life. I can't begin to tell you, like I said, when you become unfulfilled and you get to a point where you start filling those gaps, and maybe I'm preaching, maybe I'm doing a little bit of that, but guess what? When you get to my point and you get to my level and people watch you and you got that radio voice, you can preach a little bit. It's got to come from the heart. It's got to be genuine. Everything I do is just super genuine. A lot of love out there, a lot of love for, helping you guys. And I'll tell you, I remember when I was tutoring my first instructor in my school, and she got her first thank you note from a student that said, I passed my exam. Okay. And she said she was almost in tears. Okay. She was super, super grateful. Helen, actually, she's in the Facebook group. I love Helen. Helen's she's the only teacher. So little known fact, I have fired teachers at my school. I only allow one teacher to teach at my school. That's Helen. So it's me and Helen. Helen is very, very understated, doesn't like to do videos or anything like that. Helen's one of the most genuine teachers I've ever met and ever had the privilege to work with. So if she's watching this at any point, Helen, you're awesome. You're amazing. But the first time that Helen got a thank you note from a student, she said to me, she goes, oh, this feels so good. And I said, I have hundreds and thousands of them every week, every month, every day. It never gets old. It feels really good each time. So, I mean, and that goes back to also another reason why I don't do sales as much anymore. I used to, but I really do that. So, and if you've been in Helen's class, yeah, Helen is amazing. Is absolutely amazing. Keep preaching. You're inspiring. Thank you guys. And listen, you guys help me do what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to give you the floor for any last comments, last questions, anything like that, because I do have to get some food in the belly. Okay. So remember, go to helpmepassmyexam.com. That's where you'll be able to find links to webinars, to sign up for Prep Agent, to sign up for private tutoring sessions. I'm going to be having more stuff coming down the pipeline where I am going to allow you guys to schedule 15 to 20-minute sessions with me to talk about your career in real estate, all that kind of stuff. So someone said, my test is tomorrow. Thanks for your help. And thank you for being here. So guys, look, just want to say you guys have been fantastic. And let me know let me know if you like what I'm doing here as far as going live with you guys. So I'd be more than happy to keep going live with you guys. If you're like, hey, Stu, keep just doing this. Let's just jump on for an hour, half hour, stuff like that. I'd love to do it. So guys, thank you so much. I am out.